Hey, what is going on YouTube? Hey, Aaron here. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are in the USS Pensacola, the Pepsi can, the floating citadel of sadness, as we have a fellow destroyer set a smokescreen in the opening minutes, right? We're just pointing this out and laughing because this was a night of solo play, and boys, I don't know why I do it to myself. A lot of people wear solo play like an Eagle Scout badge. It just lets us know that you have no friends. Uh, but anyway, this was captured solo in the USS Pensacola, and we very nearly set the XP record on this dang thing. I remember a very long time ago grinding up to the USS Baltimore, the epitome of heavy cruisers at Tier 7, and having to play this thing. It has a slow reload, a slow traverse, it's very clunky, it's not the most maneuverable, and it has a massive citadel. And I remember thinking, wow, this ship is absolutely terrible, and I know a lot of us have thought the same, but the one thing that this ship does have going for it is its guns. Now, it does not have the super heavy AP to my knowledge. I'm pretty sure it does have the improved pen angles, but if you can get broadsides on other cruisers at this tier, man, this thing absolutely slaps. Now, I feel like I got absolutely trolled at the same time by RNG here, but this game turns into an absolute barn burner. This cruiser truly teaches you positioning. You cannot go agile. You cannot kite that well. You don't have, the best HE. You can spam HE kiting, but with your reload at this tier, there's I think every other cruiser is better than it. I think this thing has like a 15 or 16 second base reload on those guns. So what you want to do is position yourself well, support your team, be the ultimate support role that cruisers are meant to be. Now, this thing does not get radar, nor does the New Orleans at Tier 6. I think cruisers really start to show their prowess when they get radar, such as the Baltimore and other cruisers at Tier 7. That being said, you can still do a heck of a lot in terms of versatility as we lose in Omaha in 2 minutes there. Oh, don't you remember being new to the game? Tier 5, like we've mentioned many times, is truly the tier where you kind of need to start understanding the game. Now, of course, it's easy to say, your first Tier 5 ship, you should be a pro, but it took me a while to learn, just the ins and outs of this game, and I'm still learning to this day. The day you stop learning in any field is the day you actually start to get old. But regardless of that, this Omaha is going to learn very quickly that you should not sit broadside. And the reason being is these American guns in this AP absolutely obliterates. I don't know if it's because of the less armor, the caliber of guns. I don't know what it is, but I feel like at Tier 5, you don't really get as much overpens as you do at the higher tiers, which doesn't really make any sense because there's less armor sometimes, as you can see me just raging at RNG or something. I don't know. Like we mentioned, tonight was this night on stream was a night I was playing solo here. I think I was raging at the double Omaha division, which has already died. So divisions are clearly superior, as we've learned in so many ways. Oh man, I'm just yeah. People wear solo play like an Eagle Scout badge. Anyway, moving on here, we have held this island long enough. Basically, we are preserving our HP, utilizing island cover, while also dishing out a decent damage total here. Nothing to, brag about, although sometimes the Facebook pages do make me laugh. It's like, hey, I got 100k damage. It's like, I'm happy for you. It's like the rocket meme. It's like, what is this? What is this? Nice. And also, you can see our Fubuki and our team's position here. We are one of the most forward ships, and we have what I feel like hid behind an island. Now, there is no such thing as hiding behind an island unless you are doing so, at the very back of the map. We have been able to shoot our guns for the majority of this game, and also potentially mitigate as we get trolled again with RNG. But potentially mitigate a lot of damage. Like we've mentioned, this ship can get overmatched by pretty much every battleship at the tier, and you do not want to be caught broadside as this Marblehead is learning. I do need to test this one day, but can you imagine sailing broadside in an Omaha or a Marblehead and what would happen? Well, I thought I would delete him there, and we actually get 2 pens and 2 overpens, so we switched to the Dareflinger, as the Dareflinger is a more dangerous threat to our team currently. He is also in the cap, so getting that defend ribbon does, kind of tick our XP. But because of that, we actually get a nice first kill there, and it doesn't stop there. We get the quick transition to the Marblehead, and thank you, sir. Have a nice trip back to port. Not sure why it was not a double strike. Probably the long reload of the Pensacola. But we have a third target here on the horizon, an angled Omaha, and even with the overpen mechanic, we still manage to tickle that Omaha and send him back to port. So in quick succession, we have eliminated 3 ships and ticked up a nice 50k damage total. In the meantime, we are going to work our way into CCAP. The enemy has a strong presence on the right side there, and we're also going to fire on any available target we can. Now, we are running Einstein with Twist and Track and Intuitive. I forget the 2 perks. I will put them on the screen here. So we are notified when someone is targeting us. Scott does have this ability, but you do lose a decent spot. So Einstein is definitely the better choice. As you can see, we just got targeted for a brief second there, which is the carrier. Honestly, I do know the carrier's name. He was the only player on the enemy team who kind of really took a shot at us, more or less. Now, a lot of it is due to our positioning. Some people are going to say, Aaron, how much did you pay these actors? And my answer would be $5 a piece. But based on our positioning and our utilization of island cover, we were not targeted. We're not really able to be targeted for most of this game, except for obviously by the fun police. Now, the American cruisers and most American ships have decent AA, so we were able to defend from that. Also, dodging, we are able to turn here. You want to you basically want to be long ways when a carrier is dropping torpedo planes, and you want to be sideways, except for the Russian planes, the HE bombers. So if that makes sense, don't be broadside to torpedoes, and you want to be broadside. You want to be broadside to the HE bombs. And I hope you understand what I'm trying to say there. But in the meantime, we're going to ping this Serov, and also just keep our guns rolling, right? We are undetected at the moment. We have an Omaha, which is semi-broadside. You can see based on his position on the minimap, the island symbol clears, and we release the shot. Now, I don't recommend spamming LT or whatever your console of choice left trigger is, because auto aim, while it is accurate, is not the most accurate, which is very obvious from the 1 penetration we got on that Omaha. So, make sure you are leading your shells, appropriately. So, certain nations, the Russians and French and Italians have faster shell velocities, whereas, sometimes the Americans have a very slow, especially on the cruisers, a very slow shell velocity, which does give you good angles to shoot over islands, such as, in this situation. But when you are trying to hit a target, you lose that lead a little bit with auto aim. So make sure you are leading correctly. Here, though, our team is honestly just acting as props. They are not really doing too much. Now, our damage total in this game is not that high, as we get trolled again with RNG, 5 overpens and 1 pen. And again, can you just imagine playing a light cruiser such as the Chump or the Omaha and just not, getting skill issued? I don't know. I got skill issued a few times last night on stream, so it's just fresh in my mind, the lack of skill issuing that is being issued out here by RNG. But we know that RNG comes in waves. Sometimes you get all of it, sometimes you get none of it. But again, we're just keeping our guns turning, cycling those guns, like we said, as our team kind of moves in and takes the brunt of the fire. Sometimes you just have to use your team as pinatas. Let them go in and take the damage while you dish out and win the game for your team. But a solo cap in a cruiser, 3 kills already, and a nice 80k damage total. A lot of people are so focused on damage that they forget, the main objective, which is to win the game. And yes, it is a free-to-play game as we tick the high caliber and get a nice double citadel on the carrier. But basically try to do 1.5 your damage total in any ship. If you're a battleship and you have 100,000 health, try to do 150k. If every player on your team does 1.5, well, the math won't work out like that. But if you do your ship's health or more, you're kind of winning, if that makes sense. For example, the Pensacola has 32,000 health. If you dish out 32,000 damage, you've basically killed or done your ship's health in damage. And a lot of people, it's like, well, I did all this damage. Well, yes, you are kiting at the back of the map and doing nothing for your team as we get a kill stolen because we could not get the RNG to finish that AO. But we did get a few citadels, but again, like we mentioned, RNG will come and it will go. Also, I'm kidding about the kill stolen thing. There's no such thing as stealing kills, really. It's kill securing, but basically getting guns off the board in any situation is more important. Here, I don't really follow a principle that I tell you guys often because I knew we were going to win this game. We were up 2 caps. Our carrier is still alive. We have more ships than them. I was being a touch greedy trying to kill this Omaha. Also, the Mahan does not really have that dangerous of torps. I'm not sure why this Chump did not shoot us. I say chump because it's a chump king or whatever it is in the smoke there. But we get the Citadel and finishing kill on the Omaha, and that is kill number 4, as well as the Confederate. The Confederate medal to me tells me that you are shooting your guns and looking across the map. You have to hit 6 targets, I believe, and do 20% damage to those targets. I'm not exactly sure. Sometimes the medals don't work appropriately, but usually, on average, the Confederate medal is the true indicator of, the best indicator of skill, or, shooting and moving your guns. Here we get the finishing touch on that Mahan, and that is the Kraken. 124,405 damage, 9 Citadels, 1 solo cap, and we're not done yet. We missed the kill on the Aoba, we missed the kill on the carrier. This could have been a pretty gnarly game. And if you know anything about XP, we have absolutely done our job. We have attracted damage, we have dished out damage, we have got a solo cap. The only thing we didn't really get was defend ribbons. We should have got one on the Dareflinger, but he probably got all his cap points removed as we get absolutely trolled again on RNG. You can see my face as the Hyuga comes in for the last kill. I'm literally just cheesing on stream here because, like I said, the amount of broadsides we have and the amount of I don't know, I feel like I should have gotten so much more, but again, that is RNG, it's random. 39-46 in the Pensacola, nearly a 4K base XP game at tier 5. Now, like I mentioned, we did have some would say paid actors on the enemy team. As you can see, their scores, maybe not the best, but it doesn't matter because some people have never seen 4K in their life, and you cannot really cheat XP. Now, like I said, we did get kind of lucky. Our team pushed in when they needed to and attracted the damage. We didn't really get shot at by appropriate targets, but again, that was due to our positioning. So one of the worst ships at tier 5, which is not really one of the worst ships, just a lot of people don't know how to position in cruisers. Cruisers are the easiest and toughest class to play at the same time. Anybody can kite at the back of the map spamming HE at 20 kilometers, but it takes a true talent to position yourself well. Here I'm explaining what I just explained to you, that we still had to play the game and finish the game, but those people the enemy players were very giving in their HP. But that is the video, guys. The Pensacola, the Pepsi can, the floating Citadel of Sadness at tier 5. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys think about the Pensacola or the lower tier, tier 5 ships in the comments below. Hey, Aaron out. Peace.